What is going on, everyone? Welcome to your 69th Java tutorial. I've been making a lot of Java tutorials, I just noticed. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to add some functionality to the box. So what we need to do to add functionality is add an item listener. And what an item listener does is pretty much just chills there and waits for you to click something. And when it clicks it, it pretty much just, well, tells it to do something. So let's go ahead and take that box, because that's what we want to add an event to, and we'll go ahead and add item listener. There we go. Now, as you know, an item listener usually takes an event handler object as its parameter, but I'm going to tell you guys how to do something real cool here. Instead of having a new object like handler and having it pass into the handler class, what you can do is, if you go ahead and there we go, just like that. Instead of having an object and creating a whole another outside class somewhere else, you can actually put something called an anonymous inner class in here. And what this does is it actually implements the item listener class. So here's how you do that. Go ahead and type new item listener, just like that. And this is your declaration for an anonymous class that implements item listener. So instead of having, like before, handler class implements item listener outside and we have to make a whole new class, what we can do is just go ahead and stick a class into here and pass it in for the parameter as add item listener, and we bypass that entire step of having to create a whole new separate class. So again, since we named an anonymous class that implements item listener, we need to use that method, and that's called item state changed, as you can see right there. So what this class has to have in there is only one method, and that's, let's go ahead and create it right now. Item listener has, let's go ahead and make it public void item state change. I gotta make sure I spell that right. And did I? Oh, yep. Nice. Now what we have to do is, of course, it types in item event, just like that. And as our body for this, we just go ahead and write whatever we want to happen when we select one of the options. And here's how you can do that. Go ahead and make an if statement, and this if statement determines what option you selected. So if the event get state change, this pretty much, if you clicked a button, we want to set it equal to, or excuse me, we want to test if it's equal to item event dot selected. So what this pretty much means, alright, did you select a button? Is it equal to what was, this pretty much means what was selected, just in a nutshell. So what was selected, first of all, whatever you select, we want to take that picture, and remember this is just the picture that appears on our screen. We want to set icon, which pretty much means change the image, to, and the parameter says what icon do you want to change to. Well, we have an array called pics, but we have, the thing is, we have two elements or two images in this one. So what one do we select? Well, go ahead and type box dot get selected index with empty parameters, just like that. Make sure I typed everything right. Parentheses, bam, bam. Now make sure the method get state change is undefined type, and oh, here we go, hold on a second. Alright guys, in all of my excitedness I did another stupid error. I actually put get state change instead of change. Quite embarrassing. Make sure you type that right. But now pretty much that's all we needed to do. So what this does is it makes an anonymous inner class, and this is the class itself. And in this class, the only thing we needed to do, since it implemented item listener, we needed to add an item state changed method, since that was the only method in item listener. And then we pretty much just said, alright, what item did you select, or what option did you select in the drop down list, and change the picture to that icon or item. So now we can go ahead and get out of add item listener, and we can pretty much just add all this to the screen. So add that box to the screen, and remember that box is just a drop down box, and now we want to take that picture and add it to the screen. But by default, let's go ahead and set it equal to new J label, and we'll do pics 0. And this pretty much just gives it a default value, so you know, something appears before you choose any options. And lastly, let's just go ahead and add that picture to the screen just like that, and we shouldn't get any errors, shouldn't. And now let's go ahead and just run this, and I'll show you guys what we get. By default, again, like I said, we have B on the screen, which is at the index of 0. Then when we select X, our picture changes to X. We can go ahead and select B, X. We can do this all day if we want, really, but no time for that. We need to overview our program. So what we did is pretty much, let me get to the good stuff. We made a box variable, a picture variable, just to hold box and picture later on. We made an array of file names, and we made an array of images named pics. And then we went and go ahead in our constructor, which is pretty much making the window. We added a title, added a layout. We set that box equal to new J comma box, and it took the file names is the options. So again, if I go ahead and run this, these options right here are the default for file name, so that's why that was able to run. And the only confusing part, which we didn't know, is this: instead of having a new object in a new class, we just went ahead and stuck that handler class inside the add item listener, and that was actually an anonymous inner class. And what we needed to do is we needed to overwrite this method item state changed, because that was the only method in item listener, and we overrode it with a nice little function right here. And then we went ahead and added the box to the screen. Then we went ahead and added the picture to the screen, and just gave it a default setting, and we were good to go. So again, here is our awesome little program right here. Flawless, no bugs, no anything. So that's all you get for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. In the next tutorial, we're going to be going over something else cool you can do with GUIs. And well, that's it. So again, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next tutorial.